The people who were invested in this type of divination were living in a city where a huge amount of resources were being spent on creation of bronze objects using extremely hot temperatures. There would have been a great deal of knowledge about the control of fire. They were also creating all sorts of tools and objects out of bone. What hopefully this has demonstrated is not kind of the trivial thing about that you can burn bone, but rather that this is kind of difficult. And there's a lot of specialized knowledge involved in how this divination process and any other divination process work. So this whole process of development from more than 5,000 years ago till 3,500 years ago, this 1,500-year process of increasing complexity to the way in which this divination practice took place, it was the result of a series of experiments and attempts by diviners to use the knowledge they had about the medium that they were using to make the process more predictable in a way that they could then communicate with other diviners about what it is that they were interpreting. And then it sort of stopped archaeologically in sometime between 1045 and 1049 BC. A group called the Zhou, together with some collaborators, overthrew the Shang. And they become at least nominally, the polity and power for the next 1,000 years almost. The transition from the Shang to the Zhou was one that was fraught by kind of military conflict and kind of transitions in power, but also changes in terms of the way that ritual practices took place. It's clearly not the case that the Zhou polity and the center of it was as invested as the Shang were in using divination as their main means of, using bone-based divination as their main means of communication with the ancestors and as a decision-making tool for political, social, and kind of economic maneuverings.